Hey, everybody. Uh, Had to do things a little different because one of the boxes I was opening was yay big, so like twice as wide as me, and I'm pretty fat. And it was heavy as hell because it was full of all kinds of different books. So we're going to get started here. Um, I just have a lot of cool books. As soon as I said books, like two people disappeared right away. Um, One, the hardcover of Neil Gaiman Neverwhere. This is probably the science fiction book club edition. Most of these uh, prose books will be that. Um, this one is not. I bought this off a regular store shelf, but uh, Star Wars: Revenge of the Sith, the shiny cover. Uh, the hardcover archive editions, Aquaman Volume 1. This is the old school version. Um, Representing from the Silver Age of Comics, The Adventures of Aquaman from Adventure Comics, numbers 260 through 280, 28 plus 282, and showcase numbers 30 and 31. And of course, I'm a big fan of black and white newsprint reprints because they're cheap. And, if you get yourself like 15, 20 bucks, you can probably score one of these. Most comic shops still have them lingering around with their trade somewhere. An issue here or there could be anything. All the DC ones were called Showcase Presents, and all the Marvel ones were called Essential, and then the title of the book. This one, of course, because I love the Legion of Superheroes, it's Showcase Presents Legion of Superheroes Volume 1, with that classic cover of Superboy not making the cut. I think I have a later one of Legion as well. And this one is calf. Is Showcase Presents Hawkman with the cover Hawkman number 1. The back of this one has Superman Family, Metamorpho, Teen Titans, and Brave and the Bold. Whoops. So I'm going to put these back here. I know everybody's like, "We're not bringing toys out. I only want to see the toys." So we will delve into this box to get it out of the way. So this is some of the previews, exclusives, Toy Biz famous cover figures. I'm just going to put them right back in here. As you can see, it's got the previous exclusive thing on it from Diamond. This is Jim Lee's classic X-Men cover number 1 with Cyclops and Wolverine. So, and I will put the box down so I can actually open it. So you can see the inside. And it's got big, bulky, rubberized gloves. next one is X-Men Unlimited number 19. Another previews exclusive. This time it is Nightcrawler. These were all the ones that weren't available in stores. These were previews exclusives. You had to order them. Like, you know, if GameStops were around when these came out, you know, they would have been, you know, they might have ordered them in there to put them on the shelf. Great artwork, and Nightcrawler looks pretty cool. And the next one is Rogue in her first solo issue. Welcome to the 90s. The tab for this round of exclusives, they're all in the it's all just one tab in the center. The older ones had like one leg on each corner, but this is the classic 90s Rogue with the leather jacket and the big high knee boots. And this one's got real hair, and they put the skunk swirly on her, but you know, it's kind of hot now because, you know, now women are just coloring their hair all kinds of, you know, well, we don't have to stick with a few covers. And this one is the famous cover version of one of the figures that you might have seen in an earlier one that got ruined. The packaging got ruined of four of the M2 figures. M2 was a thing Marvel did where it was the kids. And look, I shaved a little bit off because I messed it up. It was the kids of the big name heroes. So, of course, the first one was, who had her own title, was Spider-Girl, May Parker, Peter's daughter. Peter and MJ's daughter. And you can see, I think, if my camera will see, like the weird 2 underneath where it says Marvel Comics. Yeah. And they were advertising on the back. They were doing greatest moment in Marvel Comics history. So they had like Dark Phoenix versus Cyclops and Bullseye versus Elektra. They were advertising on the back. Of course, all these figures, nobody wanted to buy them. You know, the kids wanted them because of the a lot of like the younger kids that grew up on the X-Men cartoon series of the 90s all wanted these, and we're getting into the comics a little bit. But none of the collectors really wanted them. And now they're remaking those exact same figures with the exact same packaging, and now everybody wants them. So here is May Parker, Peter's daughter, named after, of course, Aunt May. And there she is. The mask is kind of like loose around her head, but she's got like the Ben Reilly web shooters around the wrists, and wearing like, you know, a version of her dad's classic costume. What do we got? We have one more. My second favorite villain in all of Marvel. And this is, of course, these were all exclusives to previews. If you didn't find them in like a comic shop, you didn't find them at all. It's kind of like a little dent in the top center of the box, but I don't give a damn. And this is yet again Jim Lee's X-Men cover 1, and all the box art on these was fantastic. Special collector's edition of Magneto. And then the back of the box,
surprise.
And he's in the big classic costume, the original Magneto costume, the red and the purple, and the big helmet with like the sickle horn at the front, which I guess they were saying he probably used to focus his powers through. So those are all the toys. Since we just did X-Men, I will show off this X-Men prose novel. And this is another book club exclusive. I used to like joining the science fiction book club when I had the money. Sadly, the cover got torn somehow and torn over here, but I don't care because I'm not giving this away. I never read any of these books. I bought them and then they sat around on the shelf. They just looked cool. And I'd look at them and I'd read what they were about. Excuse me. So it's wicked dry in here and it's snowing out. This is the X-Men, the Chaos Engine trilogy. So it's all 3 novels in one hardcover. I like hardcovers. They tend to last longer. So, of course, you see Cyclops and Phoenix. The first book is Doctor Doom. The second book is Magneto. And the third book is the Red Skull. So if the cover art is anything true to form on the inside, it's probably not exactly like this. But if it is, then it's like, Scott and Jean versus Doctor Doom and Logan and Rogue versus Magneto and Storm and Psylocke versus Red Skull. But it's just it was a cool looking book, and I would go through looking at stuff, and every time I saw like anything to do with comic books or movies that I liked, like I still haven't come across I've got this ginormous edition of Lord of the Rings that has the entire trilogy in one hardcover. A couple of soft covers here, which I wouldn't sell for the life of me. These were after the movies were made. This is Frank Miller's A Dame to Kill For, Sin City, which I actually just watched the other day. So these are like the older printings that is, as soon as they started filming, they came out. So it's pretty old, and it's got, a couple of panels on the back. And Sin City, The Hard Goodbye. Blam, blam, blam. Taking out Marv. And we have Robert E. Howard, so you know it's Conan. The Conquering Sword of Conan. From the Master Heroic Fantasy, 5 classic adventures, including the legendary Beyond the Black River and Red Nails. And Red Nails was adapted by a new small press company. And my partner on OK Boomer, Thomas, read those and reviewed them. They were very good. He urged me to read it. I think they sent me the PDF too. Did I ever get around to reading it? No, because I can only sit here for so long every day. I have problems with my feet and legs, so I have to put them up. Of course, what kind of Joker fan would I be without Brian Azzarello's The Joker? and art by Lee Bermeo. This is the very first book that I ever saw Lee Bermeo's artwork in that I bought for myself. And yeah. This is long before the art stylings of the most recent stuff that we know for, more of a painting. And my LCS does graphic novel and trade paperback, anything that you can put on your bookshelf that's not like, floppy or anything. So any kind of collection, trade paperback, graphic novel, whatever. They do like big sales, like 2 for 1 sometimes. And I usually take advantage of that, and I'll buy an expensive one and get something so I can get something else closer. Or sometimes I'll just buy a few cheap ones. I never collected Secret Invasion, and I wanted to read some of it, so I got Secret Invasion Frontline by Reed and Castillo. Oh, wait, is that? I'm looking through. I was just wondering if that might have been Sammy Castillo. No, it was Marco. Okay. Might be related to her late husband, but I mean, great art on the interior. I have so much that if I sat down and did nothing but read the comics that I own now, I'd be long dead before I even got close to finishing reading all the ones that I haven't read. This is a collected trade of Skeets, Levitz, Aparo, and Grell, Death of a Prince. This is the classic Aquaman story of the death of his son, Arthur Curry Jr. His family destroyed, his enemy victorious. This, of course, is the classic story with where Black Mantis and Ocean Master teamed up and murdered Aquaman's son. Then I bought this because I don't like the writer on the current Fantastic Four, and I don't think Marvel's done anything good in years except for, pardon me, the Immortal Hulk is the only thing, in my opinion, that's worth reading there. But I like the characters of the Fantastic Four, and I always watched the various versions of the cartoons when I was a kid. But this is Secret Invasion Fantastic Four, and of course, because they fought the Krulls and the Skrulls many times over, so I do have a couple of hardcover trades that I bought and I never opened. So here is Runaways. And this collects, this is just like the first 6 issues in hardcover of Runaways. I watched the TV series. It was well done. I enjoyed it. And I really liked the first series. And then a couple issues in the first series just exploded. That's when it was ooh, anything that's a key, buy it. And it, all the spec market went nuts again. This is the Zeb Wells story arc. This is a Marvel Premiere Edition. New Mutants, and of course, my favorite New Mutant is Danny. So you put anybody with a bow and an arrow on a team, I like them because I'm a huge Robin Hood fan since I was a little kid. So this is New Mutants, The Return of Legion. Of course, you see Magic and Sunspot and Danny Moonstar, and I forget the other two because I knew who a bunch of them were, but I didn't collect New Mutants because I couldn't afford it, even back when the books were $1.25. And on the back is Cannonball, Warlock, and Legion. I miss Warlock. He was a fun character. When their oldest and most powerful foe returns, the original New Mutants reunite. Oh, we're going to find out who they are. Cannonball, Sunspot, Magma, Magic, and Danny Moonstar race to the rescue of Karma, but Legion has her right where he wants her, locked inside his schizophrenic mind. It's classic mutant action the way you like it, plus the return of the beloved Warlock. So this is Warlock's return. But if he's so beloved, why does he have that weird look on his face? I think that's when he turned and I don't know, that shit crazy. I also bought X4, starring the X-Men and Fantastic Four, of course. Here's the back cover. It's great art on this cover. I'm not sure who's doing what inside. So you got X-Men on the inside, flap of the cover, Nightcrawler, Beast, Gambit, and Wolverine on the inside of the back cover. Flap is the Fantastic Four. So this was written by Akira Yoshida, penciled by Pat Lee. Backgrounds by Edwin Garcia, inked by Rob Armstrong. Colorist is Rob Ruffalo, Stunig, Alan Wang, Rimmel Sunga, and Pierre Tatro. Lettered by Dave Sharp. Assistant editors were John Barber, Stephanie Moore, and Ryan Chen. Editor was Mike Martz. Let's see if I can find a cool page in here. Oh, this is when the FF first, the artwork is amazing in this. The FF first run into Logan. And Ben Grimm's like morning runt. Gotta love it. And then I had the hardcover of Greg Rucka and
just follow this up and I'll get us all through this. There's nothing I don't know about survival.
Yoshitaka Amano,
right?
Elektra and Wolverine, the Redeemer.
You'll come through. We'll come through. You just follow the sun. You with me? Yes. You all with me?
Yeah.
Well, you'd better get with me because if we're going to survive, we can't carry shepherds and we can't carry deadwood.
See if I can get a. This is. Oh, so this is an illustrated novel, not a. So here's kind of like the art style inside, but it's. You get like this. So it's an illustrated prose book. That is that. I will come back to this. I have a bookmark right in the middle of this. I've read most of this, and I've had to go back and reread a bunch of it. I'm a big Alan Moore fan. And, of course, back in the 80s and 90s, I couldn't get enough of them. So I bought this novel, which is kind of like a biography of Alan Moore. It's got an introduction by Terry Gilliam. and it's called Alan Moore, Portrait of an Extraordinary Gentleman. Nowadays, it might have been called Portrait of a Madman, but 145 of the top artists, writers, cartoonists, comic creators pay tribute to the writer and magician Alan Moore in his 50th year. So this was done for his 50th birthday. And you can see they listed all the comic creators on the back. So I had to leave that out because I apparently am still reading that. I am. This because I am a huge Jeff Smith fan. I'm a huge fan of Bone. And many of the past unboxing videos I've done, and a couple of different ones you saw me not open the figures, but open boxes that had the figures in them of various Bone figures from his Bone story. And here we go. First printing of Bone. It is huge. I would throw this at somebody, but if they broke into my house, but I don't want to be accused of killing them. There's a nice page of acknowledgments in the back. All black and white. But because it is so fat, this thing was still $40. Nominated for Eisner and Harvey Awards. Jeff is now like signing these and doing like remarks on them. He ran like a special edition. That's a hardcover with with an original tip-in sketch plate and remark on the hardcover. And this is the perfect example of an all ages book. The only problem is because it's so fat, the spine's gonna go. There's no chance the spine's not gonna go. But if you want to, this is good for kids of all ages, from from the very young up to the very old, like me. It's an awesome book, great story, and who doesn't love stupid rat creatures? Cross that out. I'm getting all kinds of notifications. Let's see. I've got more comic stuff down here. And then I've got more art books. I bought all the hardcovers of all the Neil Gaiman Sandmans, and this is my copy of Endless Nights. And I love how they did the gold leaf on it. It just looks great. And even on the lettering in the bottom.
What are you looking at?
I mean, come on. This book, the artists in this book are like Frank Quietly, P. Craig Russell, Bill Sienkiewicz, Baron Story. I mean, come on. Of course, another one of my favorite artists, David Mack. This is from Icon. This is issue 10 of Reflections. The original Harbinger graphic novel Jim Shooter, Latham, and Chuck Dixon. I can't remember how many issues are in that. It's like 6 to 10. And this is X-Men Manifest Destiny, the hardcover. This ran me $30 plus my discount at my LCS. He doesn't usually give discounts on hardcovers, so I probably got it during a sale. And Warren actually has his wings and feathers, and then we have all the bad girls of mutant kind on the back. Jean Grey, another version of Rogue. I kind of like that version. The version with the hood's kind of hot. Storm, not my favorite version of Storm. My favorite version of Storm is when she got the mohawk. She was like wicked badass then. Of course, Emma Frost, Kitty Pryde, Psylocke, and and it's a Terry Dodson wraparound cover, so what's not to like? More art books. Luis Royo. I can show you the covers. I can't show you the interiors, although all these are for sale. Luis Royo Conception Book 1. This is just conceptual art for... oh, look, she got the whale tail. From Heavy Metal Magazine. And this is Luis Royo Conceptions 2. I might have more on this line. These are just beautiful books. And Prohibited book from Luis Royo. And I think I have this image in like a big, huge print. And I've got some like great big prints on the other side of the loft that I'm looking to sell because they are not proper with it. They are fine when you live by yourself, but when you have a young daughter, not so much. Okay, I'm gonna pile these back there, and then I have some more prose novels, a lot of Star Wars stuff, and that'll be it for that box. Yep, these are all Star Wars. Oh, no, there's one Star Trek. Sacrilege! Keeping your Star Wars and Star Trek together.
You are one so weak and willed and coward.
I'm having flashbacks to my nerd days walking down the hall of school.
The world is on his mind.
And some doofus jock knocking all my books out of my hands. And somebody who was friends of mine would go and slap him in the back of the head or something after it. But anyhow, back to the moment at hand. This is Star Trek was, Bill Shatner's ego. He's got his name bigger than life, and it's a young picture of Will Shatner, and this is Captain's Blood. The bird on it makes me think it has something to do with the Romulans, and it's with Judith and Garfield Reeves Stevens, which means Judith and Garfield actually wrote the book, and Bill Shatner just slapped his name on it. He probably gave him some ideas, and that was kind of, all they had for that. The rest of these are all Sci-Fi Book Club exclusives. This is one from the New Jedi Order, Force Heretic from Shane Williams and Shane Dix. Of course, you can see that's a big fat book. So, and then we have, let's see if I have any New Jedi Order so I can keep them. Yes, I have another New Jedi Order. This one is The Unifying Force, the explosive conclusion to the New Jedi Order series, which is probably like, 800 books. This one's from James Luceno. And that is the cool cover on that one. And the back cover. I have my glasses on so I can read it. Triumph or Obliteration for the New Jedi Order. And the unrelenting Yuuzhan Vong. It will be the last epic battle, the ultimate fight that will decide the fate of the universe, of course. And with the X-Wings and a little hand going up and everything else, other ships. We have Han and Leia on the back. Because, of course, those were probably the twins. Because Han and Leia were supposed to have twins. Like her father before her. And then, some bougie producer said, no, we're going to make this bitchy psycho kid Kylo Ren. Anyhow, we have another one with Han and Leia and Chewie. New York Times bestselling author of Star Wars, The New Jedi Order, Star by Star, Troy Denning, with Star Wars, Tatooine Ghost. The desert planet of Tatooine holds many secrets, and a ghost from Leia's past. And of course, we have the Falcon up there, some blue shimmy stuff, and oh yeah, Shimmy Walker. So Leia's grandmother, and then Shadow of Vader, her father. So. And I have a couple Clone Wars novels. This one is Shatterpoint, starring Mace Windu, from Matthew Stover, New York Times best-selling author of Star Wars, The New Jedi Order Traitor novel. And a whole bunch of Clone Wars stuff on the back. I know you will come for me, Mace. You should have sent me here. I know you think I've gone mad, but I haven't. What's happened to me is much worse. And doesn't let you know who said that, so you want to read the book. Now I want to read the book. And the last one, and then we're done, is Star Wars, The Sisters Deception, a Clone Wars novel by Stephen Barnes, the author of Lion's Blood. Caught between those he serves and those he would save, Jedi Knight Obi-Wan Kenobi confronts a challenging mission that masks a deadly deception.
Trust me.
And on the front is Count Dooku, Obi-Wan, and Kesto Fitz. And that's what's in those two boxes. So if you watched, great. If you watched the replay, please still comment below the video. If you ditched out because he's not showing toys. I own lots of crap. I own lots of books, trades, graphic novels, prose, comics, everything. So, but thank you. I know it's the beginning of the month and everybody's kind of like, ugh. We're going home. But a bit. That's all, folks.